Welcome back to the Dallas Property Insider Real Talk on the Go, where we bring you real conversations in real places about real estate, lending, and everything in between. I'm your host, Vijay Muthuraman, and today we're rolling into episode 2 with another special guest. This time, we're not in a coffee shop. We're sitting down at a steakhouse, and I've got David Stockel from HistoryMaker Homes here with me. Together, we're going to give you the insider truth on what it really means for first-time homebuyers to build a new construction home. From breaking down the different phases of the build process to walking through a property that's actually under construction, we're going to cover it step by step so you know what to expect, what to watch out for, and how to avoid a rookie mistake. And just like always, we're not keeping this in the studio. We're heading out to the field, from a steakhouse to a car ride to the community itself, to bring you the insider truth every step of the way. So grab your steak knife instead of your coffee cup and let's dig in. David, ready to get started?
Let's go.
So David, we're here today at the steakhouse. What is it called?
Sweetie Pie Ribeye.
Okay, Sweetie Pie Ribeye,
Yeah.
and we're in Fort Worth.
We're actually in North Richland Hills,
Okay.
just 5 minutes from Fort Worth.
So this is a different setting. I usually meet you at your office in Fort Worth. We're here at the steakhouse today. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, what size of a steak are you getting?
Oh, I'm going big. I'm going 18 ounce
So it's go big,
or go home.
go home. So, okay, we're doing the 18 ounce. I'm going to do the 18 ounce. We're doing the ribeye steak. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I've actually been on a steak diet. It's like almost, can't even say almost, it's steak for dinner every day. I've been doing this for over a couple months now. I just throw it on my charcoal grill.
Well, we hope you love Sweetie Pies. My wife this is her favorite spot to come. So she claims this is the best steak in town. So
Very nice. We're going to check that out today.
yeah,
And we're going to talk about new construction for first-time home buyers.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So a lot of first-time home buyers think they should only consider resale homes, but not new construction. What do you think?
Well, I think that they're doing themselves a disservice because a new home is going to be much more energy efficient, number one, less cost per month to own, and it's going to have the latest technology, the latest colors, features that people want in a home.
Okay. But I also see that new construction these days, right, compared to resale homes, get better incentives, better deals. It's actually cheaper than buying resale homes.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we're all buying rates down. We call it a forward commitment. So we're offering a fixed rate bought down for 30 years, which is incredible. We're spending a lot of money to do that, to make it affordable for especially first-time home buyers. Plus, in most cases, we're going to cover their closing costs. So you're right. You can't get that on a pre-owned home.
How do you guys manage to do that?
Unfortunately, we have a lower margin when we do that,
Yes.
but we just have to factor it in. It's the cost of doing business today.
So normally I explain to my clients that you take a portion of your margin and you use that towards incentives, the incentives being either an interest rate buy down or other appliance incentives, cash towards closing, or anything else. You guys seem to be getting very creative these days with incentives.
We are. Matter of fact, builders in a whole are probably spending anywhere from 12 to 18%, which is quite a bit.
That's crazy. What do you think is the biggest misconception when a first-time home buyer walks into your office and they want to buy a home?
Well, I think the biggest misconception is a new home costs more than a pre-owned
That's
home.
right.
And if they've looked at a pre-owned home, if you've ever looked at remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom,
Oh, yeah.
actually the new home is going to have everything, and you're not going to be spending $50,000+ to
That's
redo
true.
a pre-owned home.
Very
So,
true.
definitely.
Then what are you seeing, as a builder in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex when it comes to new constructions? How are they becoming a lot more attractive these days?
Well, we're seeing still people that are coming in from out of town, or people that want to stay in the same areas. The one thing that we're seeing here in Fort Worth, which is one of the largest growth areas in the country is the quality of life. People are wanting to be here for the quality of life.
Right. Yeah, true.
Sure.
I think I saw a stat recently that Fort Worth is where most people are moving. In terms of population growth, is like the #1 city is what I recollect saying.
So we do, when we look at opening communities, we do look at what the area growth is like and what's going on in the area. Absolutely. We factor in all those things. Drive, especially today, as the freeways get more crowded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The drive to and from where people are commuting to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So big factor.
And let's talk about a few other, we talked about a misconception. Let's also talk about some buyer myths, right? A lot of times buyers think that they have to put 20% down, but you guys have a lot of different incentives with lenders that you work with. What do you think in terms of down payment?
Well, I think especially your first time home buyer, an FHA, or if they qualify for a VA loan, the minimum 3.5% down is actually very wise today, because that property is going to grow and appreciate, and their return on their capital investment is going to be what they're going to be really loving, in 3 to 5 years on a new home. So they don't have to put the 20% down unless they're trying to get to a certain payment, right? And then they're doing that for those reasons. But the other thing that they might look at doing is, we're even offering a fixed rate, but they may look at buying that rate down, which is actually going to move that payment a lot more than thousands of dollars invested.
Yeah. And we're also seeing that, usually, buyers who buy a new home, they stay in their property. I think national average is about 5 to 7 years. With recent forecasts where, property prices, I think about a couple months ago, the forecast was about 3.5% nationwide in terms of growth. But now it's come down to about maybe 1.5% or so as of last month. And these forecasts keep changing. So usually we tell our clients to, plan for at least 5 years to be in a new construction home before they decide to sell, so that they can break even or even make some money out of that property.
The interesting thing about that fact is, actually here locally is not like the national average. And I've seen people move or sell their homes in 3 years, and typically you wouldn't have any equity position in 3 years.
That's true.
And they do. They have an equity in a home in a lot shorter period.
Okay.
And that's only because of the local market and what's going on in the Fort Worth area.
And also because some of the incentives that you're giving is bringing the cost of the house down. They could get some gains in the property pretty quickly.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool. Now let's talk about, in your current community, you guys have been selling pretty well, recently. Do you have a first-time home buyer story that you want to share? Thank you. That looks beautiful. I'm good. Anything for you?
Good.
Thank you very much.
When I see her, I'll ask her for one. So what size steaks do you usually eat?
The one from yesterday, I think, was 1.5 pounds. Try to keep it between 1 pound to 1.5. This is perfect.
Not disappointed?
Mm-mm.
They do a good steak here.
Very nice. Steak at night keeps the doctor away.
Well, my wife would like that.
Do you have a story of a first-time home buyer who went through the process and had their expectations completely changed by the end of it?
Yeah, matter of fact, you know them, Joe and Keisha.
Oh, yes.
In fact, they were shopping before they got to me. They never looked at a townhome, never even thought about a townhome, I don't believe. And they came in, and after seeing the townhome and the value that they could get for their money and the location and everything, they fell in love with it. And they're so happy that they found what they did in Rockford Estates. And great young couple. So
Yeah, very true. They really, they shopped with me for 2 days. I think it was like 2 Saturdays. They spent about 5 hours on the first day, about 2 to 3 hours on another day. We actually pre-shopped for them. We drove over 300 miles, looked at 20 plus communities, and then we shortlisted and just went through maybe 7 communities with them over these 2 days. and your community was the last stop, the only townhome community that they had checked out, and they really, really fell in love with it.
Yeah, matter of fact, they said we didn't come out and expect to buy anything today.
Yes.
I said, well, congratulations. You found that meets your needs. And that's all we care about is, hey, if we got a home that meets their needs, they're going to be happy. And I know they're very happy with living there.
They were surprised about that they could find a new construction home that fits within their budget. They had a fixed monthly budget. They didn't care about the price of the home. They said, this is my monthly budget because this is how much we pay in rent today. Can we buy a home? And when they sat with you and you helped them through the numbers and they learned they could actually own a home instead of renting for almost the same dollars, they were very happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. That was quite a treat. We've had a lot of great success stories with first-time home buyers right here in Mockingbird Estates. For that reason is affordability, and they don't think they can afford a home after especially coming from an apartment. But
Sure.
In reality, when they look at the numbers, it's achievable. Especially, again, what we talked about earlier, what we're offering today as builders is just incredible. Not only the pricing we're offering, but the incentives to get them to affordable, payments.
If you're renting today anywhere around the $2,500 price point, you could own a home. You have all our information below. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or click on the link below and you can schedule a direct meeting with me. I'll also drop David's information in there as well. For someone who's never done this before, right? They've never bought a home before, never bought a new build home before. What are the different phases of constructing a home from dirt to all the way to delivery of it?
Okay, yeah. Usually starts with a piece of dirt, right?
Yes.
And then the first step is actually scraping that lot and setting forms and putting a foundation together. And then they're going to do the plumbing roughs in there and tap into the sewer line if you're in a city. So that's first steps. And then, go through all those inspections that are critical at the foundation stage and then pour that foundation. And then framing is next. And being panel and truss construction, they'll drop that frame pack right around that foundation stage or right before it's poured. They'll frame that home typically in about a 5-day period.
Wow.
Depending on how big that crew is.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of the panel and truss is the cost savings for the consumer, and they go up a lot quicker for the builders. Then we get into, as soon as that frame is up, you do your cornice, which is your windows and your siding, all that. And once you get a lid on it, which is the roof, they'll shingle it. And then they go to work on the inside, which is, plumbing top out, electrical rough, and HVAC system installed in what we call the HVAC rough.
Yeah.
Another point right there is going to be critical inspections. So you have critical inspections before the drywall. Make sure that everything is done according to not only city code, building code, but also warranty.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go through that home pretty thorough. And then the neat thing in actually Fort Worth is they actually have insulation inspection, which is really great for energy efficiency to make sure that the builders are sealing up these homes really tight, which is poly sealing, and there's other sealant that we do to keep air from penetrating the home. And once we do that, they'll install the bats of insulation in there. The blown insulation will go in after drywall when you get air conditioning and everything installed. But once we get the drywall up, they're going to tape and float it, and then texture in Texas. And then we get into the fun part. Doors and trim arrive. It's starting to look like a house.
Yeah.
Then cabinets arrive.
Yeah.
Then you're doing countertops. And now you're going to start, after that, trimming out that house with your plumbing, your HVAC, and your electrical. It's starting to look like a home. By the way, they did a paint, the trim stage, what we call paint one. There are going to be actually several stages of painting a new home. So you've got different stages there, which was the paint one was done. After we get all the mechanicals and everything in, they're kind of come back and do a paint two.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, they're going to do the final paint, which is a lot of touch-ups, stuff like that. So after mechanical trim out, the other fun thing is seeing the colors. The flooring going in, the tiles going in, the backsplash going in. So all those things are transpiring pretty close to each other. And now it's really starting to look like the home, right? With all of the colors and selections in the home. And that's when they really start looking like a home.
Yeah.
And then you get into landscaping. And to me, they always look good from the outside, but they never look great until you get that landscaping in.
Yeah.
And right after that or right before that might be carpet. Once you get carpet and landscape in, you're seeing a home.
Yeah.
And what I love to see is people's faces when they see their selections in that home or the builder selections in that home. It really comes to life then.
Yeah.
That's the joyful part.
That's beautiful.
Prior to closing, we're going to do a quality inspection as a builder. We're going to spend probably 3 hours in that home. Our warranty does an inspection, so the builder's not, somebody else looking at it. And then we're going to go through that house with that buyer, and we're going to do another, we call it an orientation, but at that time, we're going to go not only through warranty, but we're going to also look for any things that they see, and we want to correct those items prior to closing to make sure for their peace of mind that everything is done and done well. We do pride ourselves in finishing quality built home. And it's really that builder is in that house usually at least twice a day. He's checking on those workers, checking to make sure things are done the way they're supposed to be. Because quite honestly, if you don't inspect what you inspect, you're not going to get the quality that you need to get.
Yeah. And you're going to show us one of those homes today.
Yeah.
And walk us through some of these stages of development.
We're going to see one at the funner stage. We'll see if the flooring's going in, if we can go in. I know the other one is probably maybe doors and trim being delivered stuff. If they've got extension cords and power equipment's in there, I don't want to be going in there with, for our safety. So hopefully we'll be able to go into one with new floors, maybe being installed or already installed.
Do you have one in the framing stages?
They're just on the first floor, and for our safety, they're working right now on it. For our safety, we won't go into that. Even with hard hats, I wouldn't go in there.
Okay.
But we can come back and visit one at a finished stage. Unfortunately, again, I don't have finished frame right now, but we will. I mean, they just started probably a day or so ago.
Okay.
And by the end of the week or by Saturday, we'll probably have the frame and decking, the roof, and then they'll be cornice stage. So we can look at that.
We'll see what we got today, and maybe in another podcast episode, we can take you on another tour of a property in a framing stage. And you also mentioned about insulation and insulation inspection and all of that. And that's really important, especially in Texas, where it's just so hot and everyone's got very high electricity bills because of air conditioning during summer. And I've heard great things about the homes that you guys build and how electricity bills are really low from my clients. So that's great news.
Yeah, quite honestly, the building codes that are set to builders today, especially what we call poly sealing and sealing up these homes. It's pretty much code now to trying to get these homes much more energy efficient. But the big savings that they also see with us is the new Tier 2 HVAC units, which are much more energy efficient than something that was in there even 6 months ago. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice. All right, we're leaving the steakhouse. We're hitting the road. This is usually where my best conversations with clients happen, in the car, going from one property to the next. David, let's give listeners the insider truth that doesn't always come up in a sales office. Are you good to go in the car?
Yeah,
let's head up.
Let's do it.
So, David, when first-time home buyers come to you, what is the biggest financial surprise they run into? You start talking to them about numbers. They go, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." What is that?
I think the first thing that they run into is the payment, the cost to own a home today, especially when they're coming from renting an apartment. So most of them do not have an idea what the true cost is for a home today, especially even in the starting price points of, $300,000. So that's probably the first thing that we address is going to be, the payment, which is what I call a big step from usually what they're doing in rent, unless they're renting in the city.
That's because when you're renting, you don't have to worry about maintenance of the property and things like that, right? Those things that come as a surprise.
Yeah, talking about they don't have to pay the taxes or have the tax write-off. But taxes, insurance, maybe they had renter's insurance, but they never had a homeowner's insurance policy. So just the cost of things to own a home is definitely different than renting.
Makes sense. So then, taking all of these costs into account, how much from your perspective should buyers account for besides down payment when they are ready to buy a home?
Typically, closing costs, I just use an estimate of 3%, which are fees that they're going to pay for. You have appraisals and different fees from lenders, different fees from title company, and they're going to have insurance, prepaid taxes that'll be assessed at the time of closing, unless they're paying cash.
And if you have a buyer incentive, which at a lot of times that you do, where you do cover closing costs, it kind of helps with that.
Absolutely. 3% of the price in closing cost is a good number. And typically in this community, it's about $12,000. And that's, less for them out of pocket. If they're putting down 3.5%, that's roughly a little over $11,000. So, to get in a home, if they didn't have the closing costs paid, they're probably looking at $23,000, $24,000 out of their pocket. And they may not have all that saved if they've been renting.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's almost the same as a down payment or even more, that if you can get your builder to cover, it's a great deal. And that's where we build these relationships for you with various builders. We track all their incentives to make sure that you get the best deal, the home that you love, in a community that you love, and at a price point that will fit your budget. So if you're in the market for a new home, if you're looking to move to Texas, don't hesitate to give us a call. You have all our information below. Shoot us a text, give us a call, or click on the link, and you can get on a Zoom call directly with me with no obligation to buy, sell, or even look at properties. And David's trying to guide me through as I'm talking. So thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Just stay in this lane. You're fine. You're going to exit with this lane.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm not that great with my directions. Yes, I'm a realtor, but I do
exits.
rely
Just stay in this lane. There you go.
lot on my GPS, thanks to technology.
Know this, right? I take it every day. Just gonna go left.
So, you see a lot of buyers, day in and day out, people walk into your office. Do you see a lot of them trying to stretch quite a bit to get to their dream home? Or do you see people trying to start small and then build equity over time and then get to their dream home in the future?
I would say most of them are trying to start small. I do have some that may stretch. If they do, they're going to get some type of gift letter from family or somebody like that to help them out financially. But absolutely, the ones that are really savvy are the ones that are looking at it from the investment point and getting in with the minimal investment up front so they can maximize that investment on the back end when they go to sell or keep the property and lease it out and build their real estate portfolio.
And that's what you want to do. You want to be a savvy home buyer, right? So you want to start small with whatever you have, get into a property, build equity over time, and then you can turn around and either lease the property if that is something that you want to do, or sell, get the gains out of the property and buy your next home, and then the next home, and then the next home. Your goal is not to start with your dream home. Then you're going to probably be waiting for a very long time.
Absolutely. The first home, our first investment, usually is all about affordability. So starting off one that is affordable, that they can manage, is really important for them. You don't want to stretch yourself on your first investment. Then you'll have maybe a hard time struggling to keep up with it.
Okay, so I think we've given people a lot of the insider truth on buying a new construction home. So right now we're in David's community at Mockingbird Estate Townhomes in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's see what David's got to show us. Where are we going, David?
We're going to take a look at one of the townhomes that's under construction. We're probably in the flooring stage, and we're going to just kind of take a look through at this stage where we're at.
Let's go check it out. So we're in your backyard right now. So tell us about this community, why people love it so much. I've already got multiple clients here, so I'm always excited about coming back here and seeing David. But you tell us.
Well, the best part of this community, as they say in real estate, location, location, location.
That's true.
We're basically centrally located. We are only 10 miles from downtown Fort Worth. But as you noticed when we drove in, you're not even a minute and you're on the freeway and you're going to whichever direction you need to go. So location-wise, it's tremendous. The other thing is, quite honestly, and I may be biased on this one, but with all the trees surrounding this community, this is one of our most beautiful communities that we build in. Just the natural environment around here is pretty outstanding. So, and then the home. So just a great place here to have a nice townhome, and the townhome living is actually very, very nice for first-time home buyers.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that sold my clients, right? So one side of the community is the entrance to the freeway. You're like maybe a minute away.
Yeah.
And then on the other side is the Randall Mill Road. It's just a beautiful drive with all the trees.
Yeah.
And as you come closer to the community, you're wondering like, where did this place just pop up from? You know, it's a boutique, little spot. It's kind of hard to find in the DFW Metroplex where it's usually all just concrete, right? Roads and buildings. So very, very nice. And if you guys have any questions on townhome living, we talk about it quite a bit in the first episode of this podcast. We'll link that up here as well. And also as we go through this and talk about this community and the construction, if you want to know more about this community, we'll also link over here another YouTube video where we do a complete tour of this beautiful community and the different models that they've got. So check that out as well. Okay, so we're right now in a unit that's not completely finished.
Correct.
What stage is this unit in?
We're in what we call the mechanical trim stage. Matter of fact, the plumbers just walked out, finished this home right as we arrived. So that's where we're at. And this is where it gets exciting to see the finishes that go into the homes. We're standing on luxury vinyl plank that went in.
Nice.
It's much better than looking at a concrete floor, right? Yeah. So, and then, you know, we see the beautiful new faucet just installed with the undermount sink in the kitchen. And then you're going to see they may have already installed the all the bathroom fixtures and those things should be installed, because I've seen the boxes in the garage. So
that's true.
That's kind of where we're at on this one today. Matter of fact, this is our Travis model. This is actually the largest townhome that we built. It's just under 1,800 square feet. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, plus has a loft area upstairs. And if you see the closets in this home, ladies, you're going to be in trouble, because this got the biggest closet of any plan that we build, and an extra storage upstairs in the loft area. So
he's got you with that, right?
Closets,
And is this one of those models where maybe men might get a little bit of closet space?
The man can get the space if he's good to his wife. Actually, there's a linen closet in the bathroom, so you know, if he folds his clothes nicely, she'll probably give him that space.
Okay. Very nice. Good luck on that. You know, the flooring looks really nice. And you called out luxury vinyl plank. That's something, you know, as a first-time home buyer for you to know of. You know, you could get, you know, carpet floorings, wood flooring, luxury vinyl plank. You could get laminate floorings. But these days, it's become very common for builders to do luxury vinyl plank. It just lasts longer. It looks really nice. Your maintenance is a lot easier if you have pets and kids. And if you are a first-time home buyer who's thinking future that you're going to rent this property out later, it's a lot easier to deal with tenants when you have a luxury vinyl plank floor.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, the whole first floor, there is no carpet. So
very nice.
You know, the wear and tear here is going to be excellent for people coming in and out. And actually, luxury vinyl plank is the #1 flooring in the country, not just in Texas. So very popular flooring because of what you talked about. The durability, the ease of care, those things has made it so popular. It's excellent.
Anything else you want us to show us around?
If we want to go upstairs, we can see upstairs on this plan. But one of the things about this plan that people love, and we're standing in living area, this is also the largest living area of any of the plans. Boy, if you can't fit your furniture in here, we're in trouble, because this is big. And then you have a separate dining area behind me, and then eat-in kitchen, so you have room for your bar stools right there. Everything's at counter height as far as that. That's actually a quartz countertop, and beautiful gray cabinets with a nice subway backsplash in there. Just a great layout.
Very nice. Let's go check out upstairs.
So, you know, here in the master bath, this is actually raised to shaver height, which is really nice, with the beautiful undermount sinks. But this is something new that we've put in, is the nicer faucets, just a higher, what I call the gooseneck faucet there, just a little nicer finish to the fixtures here. And then there's a big shower here with a beautiful transom window. In fact, there's no electricity on. How's it look?
Looks very bright.
Yeah.
The lights are not ready in the closet, but we'll give you a sneak peek. Check it out. David kind of showed you an unfinished product, which we usually don't show on our YouTube channel. Forget you saw all the construction stuff lying on the floors. If you ignore that, this is a beautiful place. So David, do you want to talk about any new incentives you guys are doing this month for buyers?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, not only are we buying the rate down to 5.49,
Wow.
we're actually paying all the closing costs. And I do have this unit and two others that we're including the actual refrigerator, washer, and dryer. So it's going to be move-in ready because it already comes with the blind. So this is going to be, I've only got 3 left with that move-in package. So that's going to be tremendous.
Very nice. That is some great deals.
Actually, if you purchase before the 21st of this month, these 3 homes that are available, we're actually going to get you a 4.99 fixed rate, not a 5.49. So saving you hundreds of dollars more a month. Incredible.
Wow. Did you just give us a new incentive in a few seconds between cuts? That's crazy. So we've seen a home that is currently being built, right?
Right.
The bare bones of it with, plumber just walking out, all of that. So last stop, let's stop by your...
That's the wind talking.
Wow. It gets very windy too. So do you think they don't need an air conditioner?
It feels pretty good in here, but no, it's still 94 degrees outside. So
last stop, why don't we stop by your office and you show us what's standard in your homes, because your office is a fully finished model, and maybe call out some of the things that are standard.
Let's do that.
All right.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
And we want to give you that kind of insider truth because usually when we walk into a model home, it's what you see is not really what you get. There are a lot of upgrades, but here you're going to see. So now we're at your finished product. So this is not the one that we saw earlier. This is a model home. This is David's office. So this is everything is completely done, right? So one of the things as a first-time home buyer, when you go and buy a home or when you walk into a model home, the thing for you to know is that there are standard features for your home and then there are upgrades. So David, what would you tell a first-time home buyer what to look out for where there might be standard features versus upgrades?
A lot of builders models, like you mentioned, will put a lot of nice features in the homes that aren't standard. Actually, we did quite the opposite. When we first opened this community, we did start with, okay, you could pick a plan and pick everything, but then people seeing that the cost to put everything they wanted might have been a little bit above their budget. So we took the most popular items that people requested and we actually included them in the home. So in this community, this is actually our highest finish out. So they're going to love the finishes in this community. For example, smart features like smart locks here on the front door. You're going to see smart thermostats throughout the upstairs and downstairs of the home. Smart garage door openers are on every home. So really some nice features. And then we have actually window treatments, which are the blinds. The 2-inch blinds are included with the home. This community, by the way, also has a beautiful trim package. More of that, what I call the colonial style package is actually included in this community. So you have taller baseboards, really nice trim around all the doors in the home. So it's a beautiful finish. I'd like to show you the kitchen area if you don't mind.
But before we go to the kitchen, right? So a couple of things which came as a surprise when I bought my home. A brand new home. Prior to that, I've owned another one, but with a brand new construction, the blind, you would not expect that it does not come with a home, but it doesn't in most cases. And it could cost you thousands of dollars depending on how many windows you've got. So that's a great advantage if your builder will give that to you as an incentive. Another one was also a surprise as I've been touring, hundreds of homes these days. Some builders don't offer you the garage door opener. You just got to raise the garage door up manually or spend, I think a couple $100 plus installation with a handyman or someone else, but roughly $500 yourself if you want a motorized garage door. So that was crazy when I heard that. So you got to watch out for some of those.
Yeah, typically I've seen that. Actually, I sold another community in this price point and we didn't include them. So we're fortunate here again, they're included in this community. So,
and unlike most communities where they give you the option of, either building ground up or buying a move-in ready home where the builder's already decided what goes in the home. Over here, you guys only do move-in ready homes.
Correct. We made that decision early on after we started the community. So
I'm a big fan of move-in ready homes. I don't have to make so many decisions. You know, they've already picked the best upgrades for the home, and you actually get a better deal with a move-in ready home compared to you building the same home ground up. It actually costs you more.
Absolutely. And then our designers are putting in the latest, most popular features in these homes. So it's not going to be out of date. You know, so you're going to get the latest and the greatest, whatever's popular out there. So that's what's in these homes.
All right. Show us the kitchen.
Absolutely. I call this the entertainment kitchen. Look at this island. This island's over 7 feet long. So, you know, it's great. You know, you can see the bar stools here. You know, the eat-in kitchens are very popular today, but you know, if you're having family over or having an event, you can put the whole spread out here on the island and just walk around. It's fantastic. And then, geez, if you don't have enough cabinets in here, we're in trouble. So beautiful cabinetry here. And we do the 42-inch uppers. And the little features like this may not think that's much, but this is called a castle top when they bump it up. It's just a nicer look above the microwave to give you that look, a nice clean look. And even cabinets, some builders, like you talk about, optional, even cabinets over where the refrigerator is, gives you a nice built-in look for the home. Included also is the range, the microwave, and the dishwasher. And again, when I talked about most popular trends, again, the quartz countertop, again, is the #1 countertop, not only again in Texas, but actually in the country. So very popular countertops in the homes. Our designers pick pretty neutral colors. Either they're going to be white with gray quartz or gray cabinets with white quartz. You know, nice thing about white or gray, you can do a lot with accessories or colors. So you don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I have to try to rebuy things to go with that home. You're going to be very pleasantly happy that you don't have to redo your whole household. Now, some people might want to do it because it's a brand new home, but you don't have to. We talked about the luxury vinyl floors already that are in this home on the whole first floor, which is really just fantastic. So the other thing we're going to go to is I'm going to show you the rail here that's standard in the stairs. So just a nice look to have some open rail. Now in this community, we decided to just do the open rail on the first floor. The second floor rail, when we built the model, was extra, and we decided just to try to keep the cost down, we're going to do a half wall on the second floor going up the stairs. But really the impact area, what people are going to see is this, and it still looks fantastic. With the rail, we were just in a home that had rail downstairs, and it does make a nice look and nice clean look when you're looking through the home. And the most latest and greatest as far as the handrails and things, the newest styles that are out, so you won't have to redo again things that are out from the old homes. This home also features, and most HistoryMaker homes, we're really known for storage. You've got a huge closet. I don't have to show you, but it goes all the way under the stairs like an L shape there. Great storage. You got a coat closet. All of these are 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So the powder bath down here includes things like elongated commodes in all the bathrooms and easy access. So the beautiful thing too, they did think about these plans. So you're coming in from the garage. Let's say you're carrying groceries or something. You can just drop them right there on the counter, or if you got a coat, take it off and put it right here in the closet. So we do have a thought to how these homes are engineered or laid out in the plan design, and I think we do a great job of that. Something that people don't maybe notice as much, but they haven't figured it out until they walk in our homes, is the higher ceilings on the first floor. This is what we call a 9-foot plate. And so we take everything up higher. The big thing that HistoryMaker does is take their windows up taller. So there's plenty of light and bright. The last home we were just in didn't even have any electricity on. And I asked, hey, it's pretty bright in here, isn't it? Just from the windows that we take place. Now, if you're buying an end unit like this, we add the windows on the side on an end unit, which is beautiful, but it does come at a cost. So if you can either get an interior or an end unit, just keep in mind that end unit is going to have extra windows and a little bit of yard space on the side. So that does come at a little extra cost. Let me show you upstairs.
Yeah, and then, you called out a great point about the rails, right? I've even seen townhomes which are at a way higher price point than this, where they would do a half wall, and it kind of closes that space, right? This makes it feel very open, and you need that for a townhome so that it doesn't feel small and dark. That's a very nice thing that you guys are doing here.
Oh, thank you.
So this is the last stop.
Absolutely.
So what do you got for us here?
This is your retreat. Now, this bedroom on the Bowie model is huge. This is 23 feet long. Everybody walks up here and goes, wow.
Wow.
If this is bigger than most residential homes. This is, if you want your biggest owner suite and a place where you want to relax, even have a sitting area, and even have a desk if you want to, you've got plenty of room to do what you want in here. One of the unique things too that you may not notice, but you probably felt it when you walked in here is upstairs, is how solid these floors are, and I thumped on purpose. So these are engineered web trusses. Most of my competitors won't use them because of the expense. HistoryMaker uses trusses on the first floor, and we use trusses above you. That way we can open and span large areas like this. Isn't this beautiful?
It is.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Let's look at the owner's retreat here. You've got a beautiful bathroom here with the shaver height sink, the undermount sinks. And again, we've upgraded the faucets since we built the models. All of them are going to have a 5-foot shower. All of them are going to have tile floors in the master retreat here. So beautiful. And I don't know why, but I hear a lot of people say, boy, I'm glad you got a door on the commode area. So a little more privacy. And then, boy, do we do closets. So beautiful walk-in closet here in this. If you can't fit your clothes in here, we're in trouble. This is a fantastic closet.
That's very nice. Thank you, David. Yeah, like I called it out on my videos about having a door in the toilet. I want some privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a great thing about, you were also sharing about the trusses, right? It's don't share that. Not many people know about things like that when it comes to building a home, and that's the kind of insider truth and information that we want to bring to you, so you have some knowledge when you're going out and checking out these kind of properties. So David, thanks for walking us through this today. From a steakhouse to a job site, this has been the real behind the scenes of new construction and the kind of insider truth first-time buyers really need. So for everyone listening, if you want to go deeper, I've got a full YouTube video on Mockingbird Estate Townhomes that covers pricing, floor plans, incentives, and availability. The incentives might be outdated. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. I'm going to put the link to the video right above here. And until next time, this is the Dallas Property Insider Real Talk on the Go.